Well, hello there. I just wanted to take a few minutes here and go through what all God did in Uganda on our mission trip. Just got back, a little less than a week ago. And a lot to go through here. I'm going to go through the pics here together. So let's check this out. All right. Here we have just a cool scene. There's been a pretty good chunk of rain lately in Uganda, East Africa, but I just loved the steam over the swampy with the mountains there. This is on a road we were at, headed out to the west part of the country. This is a scene, just a beautiful sky from the place where we were staying, our pastor's home. We helped him to get started there. This is wonderful. This is Pastor Jim, the pastor of our Rochester location. And this is Rebecca. This is the pastor of Williams, our pastor in Uganda, his daughter, and then his baby, his granddaughter. And she is beautiful, and this is our first time to see this baby. Here we are at almost the completed. This is a few days before the dedication of the Vocational Training Center. And you got the school in the background. Over my head there is an awning kind of area. We'll see in a couple other pictures where they're going to do the outside work, kind of like where the welding and that kind of stuff will take place. Since the weather is basically perfect every single day in Uganda, I mean it's 80. It's 80. It's right on the equator. 80 degrees. It's cool in the sun, cool in the shade, hot in the sun. So they're able to do a lot of their stuff outdoors. This is right there about the same time I took that other picture. It's just a bunch of kids. They come to this place to meet what's going to be our director. And he has some kids in the community that he does a little Bible study with. And they just got out of school. You can see little school uniforms. And they're headed over to get this cool little after-school Bible study. Here's our sign. Grace Vocational Training Center, skill to skill. That's what they're saying. And we're handing the skills off that God's given us into the other people's hearts. This is not far from where that sign was placed. There on the road, just a kind of a scene there that you see a lot of in Uganda. This is looking back that other direction in the same area. This is the house. We went to the west part of the country, and we'll show you a couple more pictures from that. This is the house we stayed at there, more in the mountainy type of area. You can see there's mountains in the distance. Of course, this is, I think, early morning. The sun's coming up. Let's see if I can get this video to play. I'm not sure if these plays like this. Yeah, what they did was they had a parade for us. And so we were coming into that town, and we were doing the dedication of the church building that our organization our church had planted there. We've got about 40 churches in Uganda, East Africa. This is we planted this one about 5 years ago, but they're building this. Well, you'll see it. It's called the Bushinyi Cathedral, Grace International Cathedral. And when they knew we were coming into town, they waited on the side of the roads for us to come, and they're waving the branches there. And so we're in this little entourage. And then there's the guys that pop by on the motorcycle, etc. But it was a really cool welcome, them singing and dancing. This town has basically nothing. But this church, Pastor Patrick, just continues to reach these people in such a cool, cool way. Here we are at the dedication of this cathedral. On my left is Pastor Glenn, the pastor of our Winnemac location here in Indiana. And they're giving them this some plaques and stuff. You can see this building that's being built. It's not quite done yet, but they're well on their way. So this was the dedication of that building. Here's Pastor Glenn preaching in that environment. Here's a plaque that we took over to that cathedral, the Bushinyi Cathedral. You can see me kind of pointing up at it. And it says that we dedicate this to the Kingdom of God. There's Pastor Jim of our Rochester location, same picture. And then here we are back at that, here's a video back in that same Bushinyi Cathedral area here. And you got the guy preaching, and you got the translator here. We also had several members of parliament that came, which is kind of cool. It was such a big deal, and we were praying over them. They would come and give a speech. We were praying for those members of parliament. Here's some young men that go to our church there. I love these young guys. They're up and coming young men of God. On the far side there, after me, is Williams Bashisha. That's the pastor that we planted his church years ago. He's the one we worked through basically completely. It's him that's leading the vocational training school, etc. After we got done with the dedication, we headed out into the mountains to do another church dedication, an offshoot of that same Bushinyi Cathedral, started about 2 years ago. And here's a cool, you can see the plantation. I think it's a banana plantation right there. Little house down in there in this valley. And the tea plantation, as we're coming up into this mountainous area where this other church was, man, it was in the middle of nowhere, way out there on the border of, I think it's the Congos right over the side there. Some little creek running through there. Here we are in Katinda. I got out of the car and there's our little flyer for this, that we're coming to Katinda. We're doing a gospel crusade. And here's their little building they built. When you're in Uganda, you have to have a government, like a 501c3, their version of that. And so we have one 501c3 in all of Uganda, and it's run by Williams Bashisha there, overseen by us. And so here's one of our churches. They just built this building, basically almost not even done yet. And then here we are giving the dedication to that building. There's the pastors. We're praying over him and his wife. And here we are. Here's another little video of us praying a prayer of dedication over their cool little church here. This is Pastor Patrick. This is the Bushinyi Cathedral pastor. This is the man. He's really outgoing. Gosh, he's great. It's just really great to work with him. Love him so much. Then we stopped at a Christian school that's underneath the ministry there, and you can see the students. This is they do boarding schools mostly in Uganda, and so this is a boarding school, and you see the teenagers there. Then after that, the next day, we went back and did a leadership conference in another one of our churches. These are all pastors and leaders at our leadership conference. Each one of these guys, were explaining to them how to do church, build a church, create a plan, create a vision, and make it happen. And then here's a little travel picture on our way to our back home, in this case, actually. We stopped at, you see the guy in the black shirt there, his name is Mulira. Mulira, actually, he's one of our pastors, but he was the one who did the official ceremony for me to join the tribe, the Ankoli tribe of Uganda. So I have a name. My name is Mugumia, which means the voice of encouragement. And so that guy's real special to me. He gave me a little tribal ceremony and everything. So I'm an official member of the Ankoli tribe in western Uganda, and my tribal name is Mugumia. So here we are at a hotel we stayed at as we were headed back home. Beautiful sunset. We're trying to navigate the roads there, which was always something. Another picture here, just classic picture all day, every day in the car going somewhere. Her name is Joy Nsamba. We've been working with her for a long time. Her husband, Pastor George Nsamba, passed away. And she takes orphans into her home, and she's got 17. It's not an orphanage, though it should be. It's just her seeing kids living on the street. She brings them into her house. She's a precious woman of God, and it was good to see her again, give her a few shillings to tell her we loved her and we're sorry that our friend had passed away. I hadn't seen her since her husband passed away a little more than a year ago. And here we are with her again, and the pastors. And then here's her school, the Christian school we helped. This was years ago. About 20 years ago, we put this one together. And so I made the little kids. I actually can see in the background, maybe you can't quite see, but those teachers are frustrated because I told the kids, "Come here, let's do a selfie." And I interrupted their class that day, but they were stoked to do it. One more leadership conference we did here. This one was totally packed. This little kid is just kind of running around. And this is one of the pastor's kids there, the one in the blue sport jacket. He's just sitting on the stage. And here's another. I did a selfie with all these guys. These are our pastors and leaders in a town called Simbabile, and putting the Word of God in their life. It's really fun. And here we are feeding them. We've fed all the pastors and leaders. They're eating some matoki there. The yellow stuff you see there is matoki. It's a non-sweet banana. The Chinese have rice and the Ugandans have matoki. That's their favorite thing. So there's some chicken we're having them and some matoki. And the guy's like, "Hey, I want some of that." So this little video we have here. The grandma that helped cook it all. We fed all those pastors that came to our leadership conference. Here's some cool cows kind of hanging out in the woods here. And this picture says, "I bless the rains down in Africa," the song from Toto. It's finally raining. They were thrilled that it was raining. Signing some certificates, some Bible College Ministry School of Training Ministry certificates. I signed as the American president of the organization on the left, and then Pastor Williams signed on the right. Had 30 graduates of our Bible Training Center in Uganda. Here's just a video at the graduation. I just went up there. This is our home church. This is Word of Life, and I got right in there, and I couldn't help myself. I just decided to do a video with these guys. I really wasn't supposed to, but they really can't stop me. So this is her and her daughter. I've known Juliet for a long time, and the music is great. Love this church very much. It's really a campus of our church, basically just in Uganda. Pastor's wife, her name is May. This is the main pastor we work with. This is her wife. She's terrific. One of the church secretaries. This guy in the middle there, he's our driver. This is the guy that drove us around, Pastor David, one of the assistant pastors of the church in Uganda. And then here I am on the stage after I did that video. I jumped up there and got a selfie with the pastor's daughter who's leading worship that day. And she's like, "What are you doing, you goofball?" And this is the pastor's other daughter. And Victor, a very good friend of ours, got a selfie with them. They're at the Vocational Training Center. This is underneath that shed area we were talking about. You saw in the other pictures. We've got some tools set up. For the dedication, we wanted to show them, this is what we're going to be doing. And so a couple of these pictures here. Here's some furniture we made. Back in the background, you see some, I don't know if you can see this, you can see my cursor here, but there's some bricklaying showing that we're going to teach them how to lay bricks. It was just kind of like like a science fair, but how we're going to do what we're doing. Here's two of the guys that are going to be instructing at the vocational center. And then here in the background, far left, you can see over here, that's the place, that's the underneath place where we were just at in the last pictures. And then we're under this like tent area. It looks kind of like this one, but it's like this for the special guests. So I took this picture. Speaking there is the head of the town council and a couple of dignitaries, political dignitaries. That are over there on the left side over here, and then all the people for the dedication. A guy made this cool, we didn't ask him to, he just made this cool opening for the Grace Vocational Training Center, this doormat for our offices. And here we are. We took this piece of everybody, all of this is like the head of that town and the pastor and his wife and other dignitaries here. And we grabbed up the two white sheets, and we pulled them apart, and we showed everybody the new plaque, the dedication plaque. And here's Pastor Williams inside one of the rooms explaining this is where we're going to do the sewing classes. There's my friend, Pastor Williams, dear friend of mine. And here's some other dignitaries and pastors, important people. I decided to get a selfie with them. And this is Ivan. He's another pastor in town. I love this guy. He does a lot of work there too. I've known him for years. And here's, I don't know, I think one of them's the mayor, the one on the far right there, the mayor, and the other, some other dignitaries there. And then one last picture here. You maybe know of this raid on Entebbe that happened there under the Idi Amin regime. Well, right in front of us is the old, it's now a UN base, but it was the old airport. You can see the buildings right there if you can see my cursor. That's where it happened. And now there's a new airport. Actually, it's right on our left here, a brand new airport over there. But this one's used as like a military base now for the UN and for East African something or other. But anyway, that's where it took place. So, I just thought, well, we're right here. Thought I'd get a picture of that. All right, well, that's my video here, going through all that God has done. It was a really incredible trip. Thank you for your support. Thank you for what you're doing. It means a lot to me. It's really changing lives. I'm watching it in real time. I know these people. I trust these people. But thank you. May God bless you for all the seeds you've sown into these precious people. I just read a statistic that within 15 years from now, half of everybody that calls himself a Christian will live on the continent of Africa. Something like 2037, 2038. So where you're just pouring money right into those people who are reaching people. And really, you teach them to fish, they fish for a lifetime. We're not just giving them a fish, we're teaching them to fish. So thank you again. God bless you.